Well, I'll just do a mini intro so that everybody knows why we're here. So we're here on the full moon. It's the seventh moon we've done this year. In the year of 13 moons, my name is Sally Griffin, aka Millionaire Yogi, and I help visionaries become new earth influencers. And this is a flow of going through a whole year where we actually delve into the energy of each full moon. And usually in a year, you would have 12 moons, full moons. You would have one per month. But this year, we have 13. So rather than 12, we have 13. And in ancient times, that would have been considered a very auspicious symbol of the goddess, because it's like an extra dose of the lunar. And so the number 13 used to be considered very lucky. And historically, it was always connected with the priestesshood and with high priestess training and lunar training and all of that kind of thing. Hey, Jan, woo, Jan, my friend. So 13 was always very lucky for millennia. And Enrique, my God, I think I saw you zipping in. Enrique, my Mexican dude friend. There you are. Hello. Oh, it's so great to see you. So what we've got is a symbol and a portent, and I'm always looking at these symbols. In fact, I think it was probably the very first system of magical technique that I was interested in was symbols and symbolism. When you get to be good at that, it's called you're very good at correspondences. And what that means is that I can look in all different cultures and ancient texts and all of this kind of thing. And what I see is there's symbology all over the world, and we're all different and we're all different tribes. But the thing that blows my mind is the symbols bring us all together. They're very, very similar and resonant. Hey, Laura, lovely to see you. And so I'd love to hear where everybody is from. So why don't you just pop in the chat where you're from, where you are literally sitting on the planet right now. You might want to put where you're from as well. Outer space, a different planet, a different country, whatever you feel. It's just very interesting. Yeah, I know, Crouch End, I love it. Jan's one of my best friends and she lives below me. So actually we're situated properly, aren't we? Because I'm above you. I'm in the kitchen above you. So Enrique, Mexicana in Miami, cool. Laura, Rhode Island, USA. Jane is in West Sussex, UK. The Netherlands, Isabel is in the Netherlands. Sue, Sunnyvale, California. Melissa from Colorado. Emma is in Darlington, north of England. So as ever, I'm always blown away by who, you know, arrives in the space. Dana from Romania, living in South Wales. Incredible. And what we get to see every time over and over again is that this incredible opportunity for the global tribes. Jimena, she's coming in too. Hey, hello. We're just asking where everybody is from right now, and you can say where you're from and where you're living if that's relevant. I don't know where I'm from, really. I could say Yorkshire, but it would be, that's not really where I'm from. And I live in London. And some of you will get that. Like, you know, the streams of consciousness that go through at any given time in a tribal group, the information that's coming through, it's not really where you're living. It's much bigger than that. So the opportunity, hey, Michelle, great to see you too. The opportunity is so huge right now in this new earth period that we're entering into, because people are getting really used to being online and working with you know, vast extremes of the planet as a village. You know, this is where we feel like we're in a village. Everybody is recognizable as these village elders, but you're all over the place. So Jimena is Florida from Colombia. And Michelle, if when you come in again, oh, there you are. You've moved around the screen a bit. It's like a jigsaw. We're just asking where everybody is from right now. It may not be your nationality, but where you're from and where you're living, just to see that mix, beautiful mix. And we've got a very interesting period of time in the year right now. And we are right smack in between two eclipses. So we had the solar eclipse, which was the fire eclipse, the fire ring eclipse. Yes, borderless, living borderless on a united earth, exactly. And this is where we're feeling this unitedness, the united earth, no borders, no passports. We're at a power peak in the year. And it's always a peak like this every season. When you get to the solar peak, which is the solstice, you have what's the peak of a masculine symbol. And then you've got this year, which is the year of 13 moons, was a super feminine symbol. Then you've got, on the solstice, we had a new moon, unusually, on the solstice, full sun, but we also had a fire ring eclipse. And 2 weeks later after that, which is about, we're going into the next full moon, we've had that cycle of upward movement of the lunar energy rising with the full sun at a peak time. And now we've got the full moon coming in this weekend, on Saturday for most of us, I think. So if anything, one of the conversations that's going to be present in your life, and we can open the floor for this, is this will have been quite an unusual year for everybody, just because of COVID, the shutdown, the lockdown, and all of that. But in my own personal life, I've felt that I was, you know, I had all these plans for this year, like ready to go. It was going to be a massive expansion year. I was going this direction. Now I'm going this direction, like that. And the insights that are happening are on such a deep level of the differences of what I'm doing now. I feel very grounded in it. And this will be the peak expression time for all of you to feel. Perhaps you can tap into that deeply groundedness after you've been like all over the place. And you may actually feel like life has moved itself around you to put you in a really good position for a new start, a new way of being, a new path. Does anybody resonate with that at all? Do you feel like you might have been, so you're nodding. And does anybody want to talk about that? You can unmute. And we can have a little chat about this, because I'm hearing this all over the place. This is not just, this is a very current conversation that's going on. So does anyone want to talk to me about that? Emma, you're unmuted. Did you want to say anything?
I just realised I was when I laughed then a little bit. I don't, oh, I've zoned out a little bit, Sally. For me, I feel I've been struggling with the whole COVID situation. So for me, it's a step back, and I've had to really look at myself to not get into, you know, downward spiral stuff, and to stay on form and to stay positive, because I am normally very, very positive and optimistic, and I normally live in love, and I feel like the COVID has has brought a lot of fear into me, and so I didn't know what to say, to be honest with you. And that's my truth, that I have been fluctuating from, you know, my normal love to fear, love, fear all the time. And that's quite unusual for me. So I know it's a big process and transformation for me, and an acceptance, a practice in acceptance and optimism and positivity.
Great. Thank you. You don't have to say anything, right? It's all good. How is anybody else feeling right now?
I can say something. I knew this year was going to be quite a big year for me because I felt my mother would die this year, and it's her time. She's 94, and I've been her carer for at least 15 years. And what happened really? So it's been a tough year. COVID-19 has been a very positive thing for me because it gave me time. My mother did die during that period, and I could be with her and really look after her because she needed 24/7 care at the end, and the carers had COVID. So it was crazy for a while. And she got it and she survived, and then she died of old age. So it was a crazy period. But for me, this pause, because I have a very busy life, I work and I'm a carer, so, and I do, you know, my yoga practice, so I'm always really busy. So for me, it's really nice to take that pause and have the time with my mum, but also to have the time to sit with what am I going to do next? You know, there's this huge space inside of me that where my mum and my carer resided, and now it's just me, and I'm reinventing myself, my life, as I do think it is. I think humanity is having a rebirth. I think new earth is rising, and I'm being called to do that. The old order, the old me is going down, and the new me is emerging. So although there's been a lot of death and upset, and for people that have been particularly have lost people through COVID, it's been a different story. For most of us, some of us it's been an inconvenient bubble. Some of us it's been, you know, wonderful to have this time, you know, 3 months with no working and getting paid. Cool. So, you know, I just think it's sort of supportive, the whole thing, you know, and I do think life will never be the same for anybody again, you know. And my life will never be the same again. So yeah, so a great year of transformation and, you know, new era. New
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And also, you know, right now because we're in the eclipse season, Kai Pacha, my pal on the astrology world, he always talks about it as being a re. If you think about any word connected with re, so rebirth, Jan just said, regeneration, reset. Yesterday I was trying desperately on a Facebook Live to think of any other words with re, and then I started as I was talking, there were more of them: regurgitate, reconnect. So we're smacking the reinvents, thank you. I could only think of 3 yesterday. Oh, respect, I like it. But one of the things that I notice is that when that's up, the eclipses, where you have to go over something again, one more time, just in order to really get the picture on it, then to let it go. Oh, I like rebel, revolution. Exactly. Then it all moves forward in a very rapid place. But we're between 2 eclipses, and there may be some re's going on for you. And it will be like, for me, there was one very old friend who I had a very, you know, like 30-year-long friendship that has not survived. You know, we have not grown old together. Actually, you know, we had a bit of it wasn't even an argument, it wasn't even that, but I just thought, this person is not growing at the same level. I don't really want to connect with them anymore. And there was an incident ages ago. And then in between these 2 eclipses, I was just driving down the street and I happened to see him. And it was an opportunity to, you know, all that story that we have, all that story that we endlessly have about our lives. I was able to just see him. He didn't see me. It was definitely for me to see him and to just observe and think, yeah, you know, I can see you just the way you are as a human being on your bike. And no, we won't be reconnecting. We will not reconnect. And that, some of that energy may come up for you guys as well, which will be that's the reset before you move forward. There's one last opportunity to look at a situation before you move forward. And so in that case, it was just perfect for me. I just needed to see this person as a human being. And then that was that. Wished him well in my mind. And, but we will not be reconnecting. So the power of those decisions that come through when we've been in a constriction time actually used to be an ancient way of training many warriors, ascetics, people on a spiritual path. The training was to cut off stimulation. And, you know, you've heard about many monks or, you know, holy men, holy women going to caves and living in caves. And then the words sanctuary, review, real, reflect, rely, reform, so many. So it was a precondition for going on, say, a vision quest. It was also a precondition that was given to you like a spiritual training by one of your elders. And then it's been given us by the planet, by Mother Earth has stepped in and given us this opportunity to have our own sanctuary, our own cave, you know, our own cocoon to go through something. Normally you would go on a quest with that. And this has been like an induced quest, like it's been enforced in some levels by government, and by, you know, the powers that be. Now that is really Capricorn, and we're looking at a full moon in Capricorn here, so we can talk a little bit about Capricorn and control. But you can also see that there's an opportunity there in that space, because just like Jan was saying, there's this spaciousness when you are used to a routine. It's broken that routine down. And now when we reflect on the routine that we all had, there will be some significant and very positive changes coming out of this transformation. I know that some of the biggest city firms in London are going to not have everybody back in a physical way. They're going to remote working. This is the age of Aquarius and New Earth, and it will be very much, you know, work from home. And what comes with that is trust, because the old order used to have to see you, watch you, what you were doing. And do you remember, if you've ever worked in an office where somebody is watching over your shoulder all the time? I've been in that circumstance. It drives me up the wall, which is why I really don't work for people for years. But I do remember this time when I was working in a photography, massive, one of those just massive companies. So you come up in the lift or the elevator for the Americans, the doors would open, and I would have this moment like, you know, because the whole floor opened out and there were just desks after desks after desks and rows of people off into every direction behind their desks with their little, you know, boxes around them. It was a cool space, so it's quite open, but everybody could see everything. And when you came up in the lift, it was like showtime. You know, you'd arrived and they'd be checking you out as you arrived, and then you'd walk to your space. And I realized that I just didn't have the behavior that was, you know, in those places. I was not used to that. So I had to look at a lot of photographs and make judgments on things. And I was finishing actually thousands of photographs before lunch. You know, lunch hour, I'd already done all the work that was needed. And so for the rest of the afternoon, I would be doing other things, right? Because in my normal life, that's exactly what I would do. I do what I need to do, but I do other things as well. And that was like unforgivable. You know, in a place like that, you could not pretend. You had to pretend you were working. So I'd finished all the work, and then I would have to pretend that I was still looking at an image, you know, like, look, because somebody would be looking at me, making sure that I was working in that way of working, but I'd already finished. Anyway, it drove me insane. And I was in there for about 3 months. I was offered a permanent position and I declined, and I went down in the lift and I never went back. So Capricorn is what this moon is all about, and it's a little bit of an ill fit to a lunar aspect, which is all emotional, relationship, heart opening, all of that kind of thing. Capricorn is a control freak, and it also has got a chilliness to that. So a full moon feels like heart opening, you know, celebration, all of those natural things that the moon does. And then it hits Capricorn, and it's like a slightly mismatched aspect. And so what we are perhaps feeling is those moments of trying to gain control, like just trying to gain control over it all. And you can't. You just can't. It's like not going to happen. There's going to be pieces of you that will be in reaction to control. We're seeing it all over the streets with the riots and the protests, and old order trying to hold it together. So Capricorn is very much old order. In fact, the 2,000 years preceding the age of Aquarius was governed by Capricorn. And so some of the systematic mass religious experiences that came out of that era, think about it, all of those religions are pretty much control religions. So what do they control? They control your opinion, definitely control women. They control sexuality. They control free thinking. So Capricorn, actually I just got a strong buzz in the top of my head, like, whoa, I can feel the reaction of, you know, imagine saying that freely in those times when you were dealing with the Inquisition, you know, and all those bodies of that element that's come out of fanatical religion is all governed by Capricorn. So it likes things to be controlled. And then you've got the birthing of the new earth, which is all about, it's not about not control, but it's definitely about free expression, you know, and it may be about systems in place, systems of free expression all over the place. So all the doctrine of Capricorn, which I am constantly on about because I know some of this history, is systematic repression of people, indigenous tribes, you know, the appalling behavior of Christopher Columbus, who should be melted down. All his statues should be removed from the annals of history books. He was a psychopathic, genocidal, first-rate asshole who used to go and chop off the arms, the hands of children and feet of children if they danced their tribal dances. He was a rapist. He was all sorts of things. These are the guys, and they're all usually white men of war. So the white men of war of history and the churches of mass control in the worst aspect has been Capricorn. And it destroys the heart. Like it's not a heart-centered thing. And so some of the ugliness of what's going on now is because it's going down. And it is kicking and screaming and clawing, and it's digging its little hands in. One more time, it'll bring out more military just to prove that it can. And how we react in this space and time is we get to re-look at it, and then we get to let it go. And there will be people who it will not fare well for them in that journey. And we've got reclaim, rebuild, retire, refresh, reboot, exactly. And so some of that isn't working, you know, obviously it's not working. You know, the system is corrupt. A lot of the system doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't work for all people in any way. So we've got, that's the background to it. Now, the other side that is really amazing and powerful about Capricorn is because it's the mountain goat and it climbs up to high places and it's always climbing. So it's got this energy of the climb. It's very ambitious as a sign. It's excellent in business. It's excellent in the way that it can do leadership, because nobody will mess with its, it can listen, but then it also makes the final decision on that. So when you take the other aspect of it, that it's one of the most earthy signs of the healer, of really alternative healing. It also governs alternative healing, which is hilarious, because on the one hand, you're thinking like this church control and the military and all of that stuff. But the other side is it's really powerful healers and really powerful earth medicine. So all the medicina, all the medicine people, all the herbalists, all the midwives, all the doulas, all the herbalists and people who use, say, crystals, that is Capricorn as well. So you've got, on the one hand, extreme control, and then the other side that it doesn't get put off by opposition. So it can be super, super alternative and grounded in these alternative practices. And I'll read you a little bit before we go into whatever we go into, but I'll just read you a little bit about the moon in Capricorn. It's governed by the statement of I permit. So you have permission at this stage to reinvent yourself, to reclaim yourself, to remember, to rebuild, to retire, to refresh, to reboot. You have permission. So, you know, think about that. Like, it actually gives you permission in an essence to do whatever it is that you are up to. This transit concerns leadership issues, security, responsibilities, need to be recognized, desire to create environments, time to take care of business, time to deal with alternative healing for your body, and intensification of your powers of concentration. This is a time of contraction where we pay attention to our needs for security, duties, obligations, drives, and ambition. It's a time for setting and achieving goals when we really go for it materially. As now you're persistent and ambitious, it's a bad time to ask or obtain anything from a patriarchal and established authorities, as traditional modes prevail, so they will not give in. Capricorn brings a desire to create environments, and energy is slowed down. Be careful to avoid insensitivity to others, and stay out of negative and pessimistic mindsets, because they'll only drag you down. It's a good time to deal with the material plane, especially if you have neglected it too long, and a good time to do non-traditional healing, as Capricorn is the sign of the medicine woman. At Capricorn full moon, the goat's horns mirror the ebb and flow of the moon. An old symbol of the goat was the unicorn, someone in charge of their own affairs. Rituals may be hard to get off the ground. So if you'd like to, this is a good time to quickly go for a pee, if you want to. And then we will go somewhere. And it felt like, to me, that was, you know, there was sort of heavy energy a little bit. I have not been negative at all, incidentally. So I feel really positive, and there's all sorts of things that are rearranging in a great way. But part of it's because I'm just surrendering to it. It's like, okay, like, let's go. But this would be a good time to show you the lingam stones I've got. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these lingam stones. Have you seen these before, anyone? They're amazing. They're natural. They're created naturally. This is a very male lingam, penis, phallus stones of India. But so this is a super male energy that we're playing with right now. So I've got the lingam stones with me. And these are naturally rolled in a river, in a famous river in India, and they're considered sacred stones for the masculine. And we've got then the feminine is the medicine woman meets the earth masculine goat. So lots of medicine can come into your life right now if you just allow yourself to receive it. So if you're ready, turn off all your notifications, the ding dongs, the phone. Sit back into your seats. Shut your eyes. And very clearly this will be a healing, this one, I feel. So let's just see where we go, and take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. And another one of those, deep breath in and exhale. And another one of those, deep breath in and exhale. And as you start to sink in, allow yourself to just drop into your body, this house that you live in on this planet, and feel like a little bit of a Russian doll, that you're in the home of your body, which is in the home of your home, which is in the home of your city, which is in the home of the country, which is in the home of the planet, which is in the home of the galaxy. And position yourself, start to see how related you are on an earthy level to position, and continue to breathe, knowing that you're already connecting on all levels, from the micro level to the macro, that you can move in and out of this awareness. And as you're breathing in with every cell in your body, exhale anything that's bothering you, any fear, any COVID-19 thoughts, any frustration about being stuck inside. Breathe it out like black smoke. And as you're breathing in, start to breathe into the back of the heart. With every cell of your body, you're lighting up this cave at the back of your heart, breathing into pockets that you haven't recently breathed into. And as you breathe out anything that's holding you back, any tiredness, any illness, any disappointment, black smoke being breathed out. And as you continue to breathe in to every cell of your body, start to imagine that little flickering candles come in to every cell of your body. And you're breathing them in, and you're creating a light body. And when you're seeing yourself in this cave in the heart, imagine that there's a bright candle at the center of the cave. And with every breath that you have, you're increasing the energy in this beautiful space, the back of the heart. Allow yourself to completely relax. And just expand. Allow yourself to expand and feel the light starting to emanate into all parts of you. And then let's go into the sexual center. So this is the sacral center. This is often full of old, musty thoughts. So breathe into your sexual organs, filled with heartbreak, shame, all of those old thoughts, not good enough, and just breathe it out, black smoke. And going in again, this time increasing the spaciousness. Even visit your sex organs, like, you know, whichever you have. Go in there and really breathe some life into this space. This is tantric breath. So allow the space between your hips to expand like a galaxy, and breathe out anything that's stuck, old energy. And breathing in again into this space, breathe into your sex organs. Feel this energy when it's freed up, the energy of creativity. And breathe it out. And really bringing in the energy of I permit. So there's permission, permission in sexuality, permission in matters of the heart, permission in anything you want. You are allowed. You have permission. And from the center of your heart, as you are sitting around this candle in the center of the heart, with every breath, the brightness of the candle increases. And around this candle, you see 5 symbols. There's a feather, a cup, a fire, a crystal, and some vapor. And I want you to choose one of those symbols. Naturally choose it and invite it in to the heart space. Whichever one that you felt was immediately speaking to you. And as you gaze across the candle, it becomes a fire. And on the other side of the fire, there sits a medicine woman and a medicine man. These are ancient people who have been for thousands of years giving guidance at times of upheaval. And you have come for a consultation. And they ask you which one of these symbols that you are going to be guided by. Will it be the feather? Will it be the cup? Will it be the fire? Will it be the crystal? Or will it be the vapor? And so tell them which of these symbols that you choose for your journey. And they stand up together, and in a united way, one walks around one side of the fire and one the other. And they bring rattles, and they rattle the whole of your body. They're shaking off old energies, working systematically from the crown chakra all the way down to the base. They're moving in front of your heart, around your ears. And you can feel some of those old sticky energies which just need to go at this time. As the rattling increases, they ask you to inhale your symbol into your third eye. So it's like you're taking this symbol straight into the center of the forehead on the interior plane and place it there as your guidance system. They continue shaking, and then they stop and they pour oil on the crown of the head. And you feel it like a warm, glowing oil bath that starts to seep down from the crown chakra all the way down through your hair, down along the scalp. And one particular large blob of oil oozes down the center of your third eye. And as it does so, it's like it becomes clear inside. And you have this access now to the path that you're taking. They tell you that you have always been a healer, and that this is now a time of activation of all the healers all over Mother Earth, of Pachamama and Pachapapa. It's time for us to unite, and you must know in which direction you are going to go. This inner guidance that they've set up for you will work whether you know it or not. And you just only have to hold the symbol dear to you and in your third eye to be able to make decisions that are clear to you on this medicine path. So allow the symbol to activate in your third eye. As you're breathing, you're feeling one of those symbols becoming strong, and you may even start to feel like a tingling in the third eye. Make the crystal, or make the feather, or make the cup, or the fire, or the vapor like a physical thing that you can look at, so you have an image of it. You could listen to it. You may even be able to smell it. And it has a certain frequency to it that you recognize. With its energy, it actually alters all the cells in the body that you've already activated. It's as if you're taking the symbol into every cell of your body. So we're going to do this with 3 deep breaths. You focus on the symbol that you have and start to breathe in really slowly. And exhale. Focusing back on the symbol that you have, breathe it in. And exhale. And one more time, breathe in the symbol. And exhale. And the guardians of this place, the medicine man and woman, now lift you to your feet. They walk you round in a clockwise direction 9 times round the fire, all the time chanting, and you start to create a dance. You're dancing with both of them. So for sometimes the woman is in front of you, for some of the times the man is in front of you, and you're dancing in this rhythmical way, knowing that this is a sacred dance that they are teaching you. And this is part of the activation process. Feel yourself, feel your feet, your bare feet on the interior of this cave, dancing round. And as you continue going round once and twice, the energy increases and you're moving at high speed, intricately weaving this dance, laughing with these 2 guardians of this place as you activate the symbol in your 3rd eye as part of your medicine path. You move around 7 times, and as you start to hear music coming from the distance in the cave, you dance around 2 more times with incredible speed and loads of energy. And as you end the 9th time, you feel that there's just a whoosh, and you find yourself outside of the cave. And the couple have gone, and there is no fire. There's just a vast starry night. As you look down at the floor, you see this ancient pathway. You walk a few steps along it, and there's immediately 3 forks in the road. There is an ancient woman sitting at the 3 forks. She looks like she is 200 years old, shriveled and shrunken, but she has a very kindly face. And she reaches out her hand, and you realize she is blind. And she asks you, which path will you take? And you refer to the symbol that's in your 3rd eye. Focusing on that symbol, you're able to immediately know which path you're going to take. Will you take the left or the right or the middle path? So making your choice, the ancient woman moves aside and you start walking down that path. Immediately, there's an amazing drop in the level. It's if you're going straight down a hill. And it's so steep, so hard on the legs, so immediately hard on the calves. The ground is completely uneven, and you're staggering in the darkness with only the night sky ahead of you and above you. stretching your feet forward to try and find balance, but you know you are going all the way down a massive chasm. And it is the right path for you because you are being guided once again by this symbol that is implanted in your third eye. As you gradually move down this vast slope in darkness, you see ahead of you the most amazing earth hut. It has a thatched roof and it's made of mud and it's completely circular. And as you come towards it, you feel that this is truly one of the earth dwellings. As you come towards the door, there is an invitation written on the door that invites you to place the symbol on the door for it to be opened. So working with your third eye, you are able to emit this symbol in front of you onto the door, almost like beaming a light of the symbol ahead of you, and the door opens. You walk in and you find yourself with a council of 5. These are ancient medicine people. And here it is where you get to ask any question that you have of them. You have entered the place of your symbol, and the council of 5 are sitting, waiting for you. They are quite serene and very elegant, and yet also very rustic. And they know that you have come to this place with a question. So allow yourself to sit in front of them and ask your question. The central one says, what is it you ask of us at this time? And you allow yourself to form that question. And then they offer you 3 different drinks. The first one tastes like lemon. It's a sour taste. And you realize that they're giving you something to purge out all old thoughts. As you drink this super sour drink, you allow it to go through every cell in your body. This ancient sour taste, which is removing any of those old order obstacles, all the energy of control mechanism that you've kept to just be able to hold on to normalcy. This drink is moving everything out of the way that has held you back. And then when it has done its job, they give you a second one. This one is sweet, like one of the sweetest drinks of a fruit that you can imagine. It's super sweet and sickly. And this one is to heal all of those unloved aspects of yourself that you have allowed control to stop you from doing your heart's desires. So feel the effect of this super sweet drink moving into parts of you where you know that you have stopped yourself living your heart's desires. And allow the drink to do its work. You may even have a moment of realizing what you have stopped yourself from doing. Moments where you could have just said yes. And the final one is crystalline water. from one of the sacred mountains in the Himalayas. And the water is so refreshing after these other two strange mixes. And you feel that everything is clarifying now. This is the elixir of clarity. And as you feel it moving through every cell in your body, feel it like it's wiping an old windscreen clear. That all that hazy thinking, all those things that made you do things to keep you safe, all the reasoning behind it is just wiped clear. And you're standing in front of the Council of Five. And they ask you, now that you have the answer to your question, you will have one action that you need to take. Allow that action to become clear to you right now. The youngest of the Council of Five comes over to you and wipes your forehead and kisses you on the forehead with a blessing and says, go well on your path, and that at the next intersection, you will need your symbol. And you say goodbye to them and you leave the earth hut. The door shuts behind you, and as you shut the door, the whole hut disappears. You're back out in front of all the night sky and the trillions of stars, and you're looking up with a sense of wonder, and you know which direction to go. Following the path, this time you feel that you are guided to walk very near the edge of a river. And as you do so, you see on the other side a beautiful she-wolf. And she's walking along the other side in the same pacing as you. You start to do some little playful tricks. You pick up your pace, and so does she. You slow it down, and so does she. You start to play with this animal on the other side of the river, feeling her incredible power and potency, but also knowing that she is also friendly, just like a dog. And you wind your way all along the edge of this ancient river, all the time playing this game, speeding up, slowing down. Sometimes you jump, she jumps. Sometimes you spin round, she spins round. And you come all the way down this long river, feeling very lighthearted, and like you have this amazing animal friend on the other side of the river. You know she's a wild animal, but she's also super compassionate. And then you find the bridge. It's an ancient old bridge, and it's a little bit rickety. It's made from ropes and planks, and some of the planks are missing. It's a swing bridge that's hanging over this river. And you see that she has arrived at the other side just at the same time when you have. And you both feel this incredible urgency to meet each other. Holding on to the ropes, you start to move into the center of this river. And you see her doing the same, stepping carefully with her 4 paws, and you stepping carefully with your 2 feet, holding on to these ropes, and you arrive right at the center at the same time with this incredible joyous feeling in your heart. She licks your face affectionately, and just as you step forward, both of you, you step into a space, and both of you go tumbling into the river. You are now holding onto her back, and she is swimming with you in the center of this river. At first, it's quite still and you feel secure. And she offers her back to you and says, hold on to the fur around her neck, and she will take you on this journey. But as she continues swimming down the river, it starts to become much more wild and becomes full of rapids. But the wolf is very potent and she's very well used to swimming. And she has you firmly on her back. And she asks you to shut your eyes and just to trust. And as you do so, you feel the air disappearing from beneath you. And she goes flying over the edge of a very large waterfall. As she does so, you are still holding onto her back, but you realize as you open your eyes that she has become an eagle. And you're holding onto the back of a mighty big she-eagle who's flying off over some of the highest mountains. You've left the waterfall behind and you look back and you can see that. And the eagle, who is the same as the wolf, is able to morph. She's a shapeshifter. And she just allows you to trust. And once again invites you to shut your eyes and enjoy the ride. As she takes you to one of the highest mountains in the area, you feel this immense joy of seeing life from the highest perspective. And she asks you, what is the symbol that you bear with you? What is the symbol that you are carrying in your third eye? And you beam this into her, and she receives it and is guided by the direction, meeting third eye by third eye. She knows exactly where to take you. She flies over immense landscape. And as you realize that the night sky is no longer above you and instead early morning and the beautiful light of a sun coming up and a full moon on the other horizon, equal, magnificent. The eagle takes you to the exact spot that you meant to go, and she spirals down, all the way down onto this potent little place of the earth and allows you to slide off her back. She tells you this is your power point. In the whole of the earth, this is a vortex, and this is your power point. And with this symbol, you can ignite your power. She flies off while you stand on this power point, and you feel literally the earth beneath your feet starting to radiate with immense power. You feel your chest sticking out and your arms opening. And as you feel the most powerful you have felt in a very long time, you are asked on an inner level to radiate the symbol one more time through your third eye. So you do. And it's as if there is a channel, an energy channel, that appears beneath your feet all the way deep down into the earth, and like a channel all the way up to the farthest place in the heavens. And you are standing in a light chamber. You are asked now to emit your power. And so feel the things that make you you. Feel the very essence of who you are. And feel the expansion of this essence into this light beam on this power vortex. And as you do so, allow yourself to just breathe. Feel some of the ingredients that make you you, connected in with the path that you've chosen to take, connected in with the things that you know you must do, connected in with your calling. And allow this information to just be received into this power beam. You magnify your calling. And this light beam enables you to move mountains by literally saying what it is that you want. So standing in this beam of light, feeling this immense power within yourself, ask for what you want. You feel the energy beneath your feet buzzing and then slowly stirring, warming you. And you feel it as if the energy beam has been turned off. And you lie down on the earth, deeply connected to this sense of immense power of your calling and of what it is that you are here to do. You allow the energy to move through every cell in your body. And one last time you radiate that image of your symbol in your third eye. And then feeling deeply content, knowing that there are opportunities ready to open for you now. Knowing that the key for you is when those opportunities are opening for you to say yes, yes, yes. And staring up, you see the rise of the beautiful full moon into the sky at the same time as the sun comes over the horizon for the new day. You feel this mixing of the masculine energy and the feminine. These two great symbols, the beauty of the moon and the warmth of the sun uniting in this harmony of the heavens. And you are left with this immense peace and this feeling of the opportunity that is about to happen. Take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. And another one of those, deep breath in and exhale. One more of those, deep breath in and exhale. And then you can rub your hands together, keeping your eyes shut. Rub, 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 rub. Placing your palms over your eyes. Just allow the warmth of your hands, look at the patterns, breathing in and exhale. And again, rubbing the hands together, rub, 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 rub. Placing your hands over your closed eyes, breathe in and exhale. And one more of those, rub, 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 rub. Place your hands over your closed eyes, breathe in and exhale. And you can rub your forehead, back of the neck, throat. Loosening anything there. And just allow yourself to gradually come back into the space. Woo! That was a good one. I felt the opportunity, like we're clearing a window now and expect an opportunity to come your way. Does anybody want to talk a little for a moment about what your symbols were? I've implanted that because it's a very good guidance system to be able to move through the elements at this time, which will help you with this massive energy that's going on in the planet. But if you want to unmute.
That was really amazing. Thank you. Fire was mine.
Ah, which is all about inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And warmth, and it's a masculine one, so you've got to see it to do it. It's got to be seen.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Anybody else?
I felt like a crystal heart-shaped, and also the flame all together, and also like a cup of water, like to have like the combination of the three of them, and then the one that was prevalent, it was like the hardcore crystal.
Oh, nice. Really nice. So you got three elements. Powerful.
Thank you. It was really nice. Thank you.
Pleasure. Well, I mean, we don't ever fully know what it all means, but it's clearing and healing. Whatever you need, you got rid of something there as well. And you also now have a guidance system in place.
And also where you were relating the story and the eagle and everything, I really like it very much. Is it possible to have like the recording of the story, because it's beautiful? I was imagining the animal in the other side of the bridge. It was first like a horse, like a dog, and then later on it was like a girl and a guy, and then get it together in the bridge, jumping into the river, and they were like swimming. I was visualizing them, and then going through the fall, going to the eagle. It was fantastic. I love it.
Oh, great. Well, you can, I'll send you this because you always get the recording anyway.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
Because
So if you signed up for this, you will always get the recording. If it goes in junk, that's the only thing that I can't control. But I never know where we're going, Enrique. So it's like, it really is like the same for me, that I'm with you, experiencing it as well. And I feel very altered when I'm doing it. There's these things happening with energy shapes that I'm engaging with.
very engaging, beautiful. And then that when you have the three paths, if you choose the left, the right, or the center one, it was fantastic. Very clarifying.
Great. You've been on one of these before.
I love it.
Have you done one of these moon things with me before?
Yes, I think I did the first one. Yes, yes.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
So
No,
we never know where we're going, right? I never know where you're going either. I don't plan it. I don't, you know, I just am sent on a whole visual as part of a healing, really.
it was very clarifying, because right now I am thinking in a way that we are maybe initializing a business in Vancouver, Canada. So it's clarifying.
Great.
Inspired.
Yeah, great. And those symbols can help you because it's clear there's opportunities for this group, right? That's what's happening. We're being invited in to say yes. there's been a PowerPoint, and I really felt it around the solstice. I personally really felt it. And this is the second part of it, like being sealed this weekend. But afterwards, there will be opportunities.
Yes.
I feel. Yes. So say yes.
Yes.
That's great. Does anyone else want to share anything? Somebody had a golden crystal infinity symbol, very nice, and a feather in a green crystal.
I'd like to share that I had a feather and a chalice, and I found it really powerful and very, very personally transformative with all your imagery and all the journey that you took us on, Sally. I really liked it.
Great.
You shed some tears as well, so it was quite clearing and healing. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure. I want you to, I really hope that you feel you can move out of fear.
Yeah, thank you.
There's only two energies on the planet, love and fear.
Yeah.
And the healing of everything is love. And fear, we know what it's like. It's really tempting to go into those fear stories. They usually start with jealousy, disappointment, resentment, irritation, anger, you know what I mean? All of those things are the journey down the fear route. And you can heal it all with love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just
Sally, thank you.
know that we are all going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So love to you all. You had a huge crystal. So I guess it's time to go, unless anyone wants to say anything else. It's been a really beautiful group, this, as we develop, and there's a lot of people who see it who aren't on with us, but I see 13 right now in the year of 13 moons, 13 participants. And, it's definitely creating something with this group as we move through it. So you can always invite your friends and tell them it's available. I'll be doing it for this year for sure. And then I'll probably alter into something else. Who knows what? I will be guided, but enjoy. And if nobody wants to say anything else, if you do, please jump up. Love to you, Sue. Love to you, Dana, Jimena, Laura, Jan, Isabel, Emma. So have a great, great weekend, and really be in your power. Like, this is power time. We need you to be powerful. No hesitation. If you feel a yes coming on, then say the whole word, not a yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend all. It has been a great group.
See you later, everybody.
See you later.
Namaste.
Love to all.
Love to you all. See you later. Bye.